if you're not enjoying where you are. It's like the compound effect, isn't it? 1% different each day over 100 days is 100% different, isn't it?
Hey guys, welcome to our SoulFam Podcast where I interview space holders from all over the world. I am your host, my name is Karolina, and I am the Connection Catalyst. Today on the show we have Liz, the yogi and the empowerment coach. Welcome to the show, Liz. How are you doing?
Hello. Oh, I'm great. Thank you so much for inviting me on here. I absolutely love watching some of your posts. Yeah, a few of my friends have been on as well and said amazing things, obviously. So, yeah, thank you so
Oh,
much for sharing this space.
thank you. It's so great to hear that some people actually listen. They really enjoy it. I receive emails and
Yeah,
random
absolutely.
messages from people all the time, and it just fills up my heart with so much warmth and love. I just feel
Yeah,
so
perfect.
appreciated. So thank you so much for being a part of it and helping me making it happen. Because without you guys,
Yeah, you're
nothing
very
like this would
welcome.
happen. So thank you.
Exactly, exactly.
We are co-creating this beautiful space together with everyone and all the people who listen. Thank you so much
Indeed,
as well.
indeed.
I would love to start our little chat with your story because you are an empowerment coach and you're also a yogi. So when in your life was the starting point
Yes.
and where you started really diving deep into yourself and being into, self-help and spirituality and yoga? When did it all start for you and how did your journey develop until now?
Yeah, so I guess I feel I've almost had two lives. It's kind of cool. I've had an amazing childhood, brilliant family, nothing ever to complain about. Yeah, just really enjoyed my life growing up. I went to university to study pharmacy. That's both my dad did and my sister did. Got first class honours in pharmacy, and then owned a business for 18 years. And that's kind of what I felt my story was. It's like go on holiday, get a car, get a house. It's like, what's this all about? It's just like something was missing. I was also married in that time for the 18 years. And I think one day I was just like, there's just something not aligned. Something not aligned is what's life all about? What is my purpose? What am I here for? I first studied pharmacy to like help and heal. But I think I found more people getting sort of discouraged with their lives and the sort of negative energy of it. And that was also dragging me down being an empath. So I was kind of absorbing all this negative energy. So I took a very brave step. I left my husband, and the next 6 years I kind of catapulted up to doing amazing, great things. I trained to become a personal trainer and Les Mills body balance instructor, which is my absolute joy. Started teaching that, and people were saying I was inspiring, I was calming, I was passionate, and help them build their lives. I was like, oh, okay, what's this? And it's things I'd never heard of before. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm good at this almost. Because I think a lot of our sort of lives get dampened down with sort of the day-to-day life going on. You kind of get up, you go to work, you go to bed, you get up, you go to, and it's like, there should be more than that. There should be more. Um, so then I embarked on a 200-hour yoga teacher training in Goa. Learned all about meditation, pranayama, the asanas, anatomy, philosophy, and it just absolutely blew my mind. So I did that for a month in Goa, and since then I've been teaching yoga. I've done yin training, arm balance training, inversion training, more philosophy training, and yeah, I think my empowerment now comes from encompassing all that into people's lives and making them feel they have a purpose, making them know they have worth, building the self-esteem and seeing what they love in life and where they can go with that basically.
That's amazing. That's really inspiring that you left the relationship. Very brave of you. So congratulations. I know
It
that it's not
was,
an easy thing
yeah.
to do.
Thank you.
I've gone
No,
through a
really
breakup
not.
around 4 or 5 months ago with a person that I thought I'm going to spend my whole life with. It's been like 3.5 years relationship,
Yeah,
but still very, very serious. And I know how it feels exactly. And I know how courageous it is to actually decide that,
it
even
is.
though you still
Yeah,
love the person and you really care about the person and you're kind of
100%.
like,
100%.
it is challenging.
Yeah,
So good job.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's that brave step, and you know you're hurting them deep down, but actually, you think if our lives aren't aligned, we're actually hurting each other along the way, you're kind of living a lie, aren't you? So yeah,
So
yeah, that's
how
it.
did you find
Hmm.
this brave vibes within you? Like how did you discover them? Did you just one day were like, okay, I'm fed up with my life as it is right now and I need to change something. So I need to do something differently. Or did you just discover it over the period of time and you just kind of like were sitting with it? Or
Yeah,
how was it
it
for you?
it was kind of the latter. It's a weird thing. I used to go to a particular gym. I used to just be there with my earphones in, not to speak to anyone for an hour. Just like, this is my solace. Like, just get away from me. Don't talk to anyone, because I just felt I didn't have anything in common with anyone. And then I changed gyms. And then I started doing a class, and people were like, "Oh, hi, who are you? Oh, you're good at this," or "Oh, yeah, I can see, I can chat to you about that." And I was like, "Oh, people are interested in me," and it was like, oh, okay, so I maybe do have a story to tell. I think sometimes you can get so blinkered in your own lives that you think, oh, nobody's interested in me, and it kind of built up from that. And then I think just the one, actually, it was amazing mentor of mine, called Claire Place, and she did a talk on how to become a Les Mills instructor. And I mean, she's basically my idol as a woman. She's just amazing, so engaging. She took my grit classes and body balance classes, and she did gave this talk on how you can become an instructor. Blah blah blah. She says, I used to be the quiet girl at the back of the class, not talking to anyone. I wouldn't put my hand up. I'm like, that woman was that woman. I was like, I want some of that.
Are
I
you
want some of that.
sure?
Yeah. So it kind of gives you that self belief that, oh, maybe I can. So I think I did the training to learn more myself, and then, like I said, I covered a few classes, and people were like, no, I really love coming to your classes. I feel calm, or I feel strong, or I feel centered. And I was like, you feel you're giving to people. You feed off that positive energy, and just think how many lives you can change from it as well. It's quite empowering.
It's so rewarding, I know, but how did you
Mm.
find this energy and this courage to take this step? Because so many people are stuck in their relationships or the lives that they actually dislike, but they stay in the comfort zone. They don't know how to get out of the lifestyle, the routine, the comfort, basically, right? Because it's all about the comfort zone. How did you find this strength to go out of your comfort zone and then start pretty much from scratch, from what you were saying? Like, maybe not in every area of your life, but you just tried new things, you just became someone completely new identity, new life that you were leading. So how did you find this strength, or what would you say to people who maybe struggle with it and still feel stuck in their routines or in the lives that they don't really like?
Sure. I think I just had that. I just remember just one moment I thought, I can't live like this anymore. And I actually didn't know what I would do. I had no idea. I just knew where I wasn't right. I thought, well, I'm still young. I can't live the rest of my life like this. Um, and I think it's not always thinking about the destination. It's thinking there is something better along the way, and like we call it, fun and easy along the way. It's like finding those little steps. You don't have to make this big massive change in one go. It's like, well, actually, what can take me from point A to point B, and make it fun. It's the journey. Like I was saying, when you're climbing a mountain, yeah, the view's amazing, but it's the journey up to the mountain as well. Like, stop and look around you and breathe it all in. It's the same with life at the end of the day, isn't it? So yeah, I think it's sort of figuring out, like we say, what is your vision? What is your dream life? What steps can you take to get there? Be it career, be it finance, be it body image, be it anything. They're all classed under the same umbrella, really. It's just asking yourself, what do you want in life, rather than, like, I've always been a people pleaser as well, and or I'm going to upset someone or say the wrong thing. But it's actually, if you're content in your own heart and you have that self belief, that exudes, and that sort of empowering positive energy sort of shines out to everyone else. I think there's so much negativity around us, as we all know, and talking about the weather all the time. It's like, just there's thousands and millions of other things to talk about, not the weather. I'm fed up of the weather.
Yeah, I feel, yeah. Like I sometimes I feel like I don't really resonate with like most of the people, because if people talk to me about the weather or about, I don't know, a new discount in the shop or anything like that, I'm just like,
Yeah,
how about we talk about emotions and psychology and
yeah,
spirituality and other
100%.
dimensions, you know?
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. And that's why I thought I never fit in, because literally that's what people would be like, or like saving for the next holiday in Benidorm or what have you. And I'm like, well, I've got nothing against Benidorm if that's what you like. But then they come back to the same life waiting for the next holiday. It's like, well, why don't you just enjoy the life you're in rather than having the holiday for 1 week as your life? It's like, make your whole life a holiday.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say.
Yeah,
Like when people ask me, "Are you on holidays?" I'm like, "My whole life is holidays," you know.
exactly.
It's pretty
Yeah.
much how
I
it works
think
for me.
Yeah, 100%. I think there's a Jason Mraz song, and it's something like, if you're enjoying the best of your life, you don't need to take a vacation, basically, because your life is that vacation. I was like, it's so
Exactly.
true.
Exactly. It
So
is so
true.
true. Like right now, I'm in Spain, in Malaga, and like last month I was in Madeira, and next month I'm gonna be in Greece, and I'm still enjoying life, and I'm still working, and I'm doing what I love, and I feel like it's possible for everyone. But I feel like the problem is that people don't question. They don't actually stop, and they don't question, because like they go into their routines. They wake up, go to work, come back, and then they are so tired after 8 hours of work, and maybe the transport that taking them 1 hour, and then they cook, and then they eat a lot because they want to like numb, or take a rest, and then they just like sit back, and then the only thing they have really energy for is just watching TV or whatever. But I feel like if they just questioned everything in their life, if they question like, do I actually have to work so much, or do I actually want to, or do I actually want to watch TV, do I actually like, if people just questioned more things and gave themselves space and time to answer these questions. Because always when we question, like if we ask ourselves a question, there's always an answer coming up from our higher self, from our soul, from the universe, whoever you believe, right? But there is always an answer, and our heart knows exactly what to do to make our life better. But then people are just too tired, I feel like, and they are so rushing and so stressed. Even coming from Szczecin in Poland, where I'm from, to Malaga, or actually it's Almuñécar right now where I'm at, like the energy here in Spain, at the beach with the hills around, is so different, and it's not so just
Yeah,
rushing and stressful. And I feel like, wow, why do we
absolutely.
even live in cities? Like, why do we even do
Yeah,
this? It doesn't make any freaking
yeah,
sense to
absolutely.
be in this rush.
Yeah,
But if people could just question more, I feel like everyone could live such an
yeah,
empowered life. And I don't say that, oh, my life is a holiday and I do what I love to make people feel like, envious or whatever. It's more like, hey, you can do it too. Like, it's possible, it's
yeah,
available. You just need to take
100%.
some steps
Yeah.
to make it all happen, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like you say, those little steps. It's like, do I enjoy my job? Yes. Cool. Are you working too hard? Could you like reduce the hours? Or no, I don't enjoy my job. What are you good at? What could you do instead? What does the world need more of? I don't know if you ever heard of Ikigai, the Japanese saying. Basically, it's life's purpose, and it's almost like saying, well, what do you love? What are you good at? What does the world need more of, and what can you get paid for? And sort of thinking about all those in a general term. Like I say, I love body balance. I love teaching yoga. I love teaching great high intensity. I get a buzz out of it. So that exudes energy to everyone else as well, doesn't it? If that's what you love. And that positive energy, like yourself, you just see people buzzing it, and it lifts you up as well. Whereas, like you say, everyone else is just on that hamster wheel going round and round and round and round and round and round. Yeah,
Absolutely. And
yeah,
this cliche saying, follow your joy, is actually very, very freaking on point.
yeah.
Right?
So true.
It's so
So
on
true.
point.
Yeah,
So cliche, but
yeah,
so on
yeah. It
point.
really is.
So I have a question about
Yeah,
the body balance, because it seems like this is
mm.
one of your favorite types of yoga, right? Or like body work that you're
Yeah.
doing. So how is that different to other types of yoga, and why is it your favorite, or I assume your favorite?
Yeah, I guess so it's a Les Mills program. I don't know if you've heard of Les Mills. It's like a big it's from New Zealand firm. And it's one of their programs they do. It involves Tai Chi, Pilates, and yoga, and it's all choreographed to music. So it could be we have Rihanna in there sometimes, and all sorts going on. And I think it's just I find it so atmospheric. It's strengthening. It's empowering. It's you get mobility, flexibility, but also you get the calm and the sense of space in it as well. Um, so in that case, it's kind of more structured than say a yoga class, whereas a lot of like say yin, you obviously have a lot more time to sort of think and relax into the moves. But I think this is generally an hour class, and people just forget about all the troubles as soon as they walk in the room. They're just there to move, breathe, and I mean I love music as well, so just thinking adding the music to it as well. It's just yeah, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. I think that's one of go on. Yeah, yeah. So, like I say, we can start with Tai Chi or like a yoga style warm up, then do sun salutations, strength work, balance work, and then we move through like opening the hips, and then we do some Pilates for core and back work, and then we slow it down and start doing like twists and hamstring work, and then a lovely Shavasana at the end. So it's almost like a journey. Like I always say to all the members, I always take you on a journey, don't I? And it's having
Shavasana is
fun
the
with it.
best.
Like people. It, do you know, and I think that's one thing I've noticed more. And since I think I've been teaching it, what, 5 years now? I mean, I even used to walk out of Shavasana. I was like, oh, I don't have time for that. But literally nobody walks out now. And it's like my little challenge to get people falling asleep now. And they're like, oh, so needed that. So needed that. But yeah, you can see people are just like, I need this in my life. I just need to stop, breathe,
Mhm.
think or not think, and just have that time, definitely.
I think that Shavasana is
Hmm.
actually one of the most important, as you said, positions because first of all,
Yeah.
your body needs to integrate all the shifts that you've done inside of your energy field, and if you don't have
Absolutely.
this like time
Yeah,
to just kind of like slow it down and to integrate, then I
yeah,
kind of feel like you can be a little more
absolutely.
agitated with your energy or whatever. You might be not
Sure.
that
Yeah,
grounded, but
because
if you
it's
are
still all moving around and
yeah, and if you're like grounded, and
yeah,
also I feel like
absolutely.
everyone needs to chill the fuck out. Sorry for my language, but that's what I
Yes.
feel like.
Hell yes.
Everyone in the world just needs to chill the fuck out,
Yeah,
you know?
I
And
really do.
Shavasana does it.
Really do.
Shavasana really like
Yeah,
lets us just chill and just calm down and you need to
yeah,
relax. And with every breath, what I do usually, I just
absolutely.
try to just, allow my muscles to go even more down, even more to the ground, to just relax, to just
Yeah,
let go of all the tension. And I
absolutely.
honestly feel like everyone should do it every single day. At least five
Yeah,
minutes of
yeah,
Shavasana would totally change
absolutely.
people's
Yeah,
lives. That's what I think.
yeah. No, I'm with you there. I'm with you there, 100%,
And
100%. Yeah,
seriously,
like you say, it's I was going to say it's only when you become still you notice how busy your mind is. And I think that's such a big thing. You're like, as soon as you're still, you're like, you've got this whirlwind of thoughts going on. It's just like, just trying to take it back. And people are like, oh, I can't do meditation. I can't do this. There's no such word as can't. It's just mean you just got to train yourself slowly. Try 1 minute. You don't have to sit there for an hour and do it. It's just, I think everyone's always the can't mentality rather than can.
hmm
But yeah,
I can understand that though,
yeah.
because I had the very count mentality when it comes to yoga. Maybe like 2 years ago, I was just like, I cannot hold this plank anymore. I cannot do this. I cannot do that. And now, fast forward, I don't know, maybe 1.5 year of doing yoga at least twice or 3 times a week. I just feel so much more empowered. I just feel so much stronger and just so much. I don't know. In this mentality, I can hold this. I can have balance. I can do things with my body, and it actually shifted a lot. Just doing yoga so often shifted a lot in my life, not only in my body and my physical strength, not only in sex, because I feel like I'm able to do a lot more. And actually it's pretty funny, but recently
Yeah.
recently I've been thinking about it. I'm like, wow, this is like the best testimonial for yoga. For all the skeptical people out there, I can tell you
We need
guys,
to promote it as
oh
that.
my god, seriously, so that's really, really good. And I feel more empowered. I feel more
Yeah,
strength in my body. And not only in my body,
that's
but
it.
also
Yeah,
in my mind. I feel like my mind is stronger thanks to that. So it's
exactly.
not only about the
Yes.
physical aspect, it's also about the
yeah,
emotional and the mental aspect of that is
yeah,
so freaking beautiful. But I feel
yeah,
like this
absolutely.
relaxation topic is so important to talk about as well, because when we relax, all our
Yeah,
energy channels are opening. We are able to take in new fresh energy into our body, and everything stems from
absolutely.
that.
Yeah,
Health stems from that,
yeah,
abundance stems from that,
yeah,
power stems from that, love,
yeah,
everything stems
yeah,
from relaxation. And I feel like it's so important.
absolutely.
I'm just talking about it multiple times because, oh my god, let's freaking relax, so
Yeah, yeah,
what would you
absolutely.
say are your
And then people
methods
are
to
like, I can't
relax?
relax. Yeah,
I
yeah,
know that's what
it
people
is.
say,
It
but what
is.
are your
Yeah.
methods to relax? What do you like to do the most to just chill?
Yeah, I'd say I would always start with a bit of yoga and a bit of movement and just seeing where I am that day. And I think sometimes you might think you need a strong Ashtanga class, but actually you need stillness. You need some yin yoga, or sometimes like, oh, no, I'm just so stressed, I need some yin yoga. Then you realize, like you say, you need to move that energy around the body and do some sun salutations and just feel that freedom of your body and just see where you are that day. And so I would generally always start with that. And then like the breathing techniques as well. I think that's one thing that really sort of helps with my mind, just to do the slow sort of breathing techniques in and out, things like that. And then it's like the body scans as well. It's such a great way of sort of actually seeing where you are as well, and not sort of not attaching yourself to any, just noticing and saying, oh yeah, okay, my shoulders, yeah, they are tight, and it's like, no, I'm not attaching my thoughts to that tightness. It's just, what can I do? Where can I breathe? What can I? Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, and it's what works with each person. There's no right or wrong in this world. It's not saying, well, yes, you must do meditation, then you'll feel better. It's like, well, it might not work for that person. It's like what works for you, basically, at the end of the day, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Absolutely, and things can shift as well. Because I was a yoga hater, even like 2 or 3
Yeah,
years ago. I'm like, oh, stretching, not my thing. I don't like yoga. I know that
yeah,
it's all spiritual and
absolutely.
stuff, and I'm supposed to do this because I'm
Yeah,
into spirituality. But nah. But then, my best friend did
yeah.
the instructor, and then I had no choice because it was happening in my living room. So I was
A
just
guinea
like,
pig.
okay, I'm gonna do this then. Yeah, the universe was just like, all right, you're doing this. I'm like, okay. And sometimes with the meditation it also can be like that. If you just try a few minutes a day, then you can just like expand your capacity to be still, expand your capacity to breathe, to focus on your breath. Because I think relaxation, and I use the same techniques as you said. Like I use body scan and just really breathing into all the parts of my body that feel tense and just breathing it out slowly, and just really feeling like I'm melting into the chair or into the ground or however I do it. But I feel like it's so powerful because sometimes it literally releases stress from my body. I can feel it. Like, I'm waking up, I have a lot on my plate, and I feel a little bit like tension in my stomach. I'm just gonna lay down for 5-10 minutes in relaxation meditation, and I'm sweet. Like, only few minutes
Yeah,
can already shift a
absolutely.
lot
It
in your
just
energy field.
calms everything, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely. It
It's
just calms that
crazy.
that washing machine of thoughts. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
crazy. I feel like
Absolutely.
we should really,
Yeah.
really talk about it and promote it. So, for anyone who listens, please
Mm.
today take at least 5 to 10 minutes of relaxation where you really lay down, you sink into the chair or in the bed, and you really just breathe and try to relax your body more and
Mm.
more until you feel like, oh, you can't really relax even more. You're so relaxed, you're so chill. And sometimes we don't even realize how
Yeah.
much tension we hold because when we're breathing, like, oh, my neck is still tense. Oh my God, my feet are tense. And you're just
Yeah,
like, realizing things about
absolutely.
yourself
Yeah.
with more awareness. And I feel like
Yeah.
yoga was one of the ways of how I got more awareness of my body, because like before I wasn't even realizing how tense I am in all these different parts, and now I'm like, oh my God, this is so clear for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
It
it's really
is, and
crazy.
it's I think there's that stigma, like you originally said, about yoga as being spiritual, and you just sit around on rocks doing nothing. You just go around hugging trees, and but it's not like that. Exactly like you say. It's what yoga means to you at the end of the day, isn't it? It could be strength, or it could be mobility, or it could be just chilling the fuck out, like you say. Yeah.
It's true though. We freaking need it. So I want
Yeah.
to ask you, because you are an empowerment coach. So what does empowerment mean to you?
Yeah, so I think obviously empowerment's going to mean different things to different people. Personally, it for me it was just finding that self-belief, and asking, actually, what do I want to do with my life? where can I go? What can I do? Can I find this vision and work towards it? Yeah, it's just finding chipping away at those self beliefs that sometimes we build up in our heads, that sort of negative self talk. Like Gina calls it casting spells. So many of us do it, just casting those bad spells on ourselves. And the more you say it, the more you believe it, don't you? So empowerment to me certainly is just, like you say, sort of thinking what's the best thing for me in my life and working towards it, and yeah, having that positive energy field around you. Hmm.
Amazing. And how did you
Yeah.
chip away all these beliefs, all these old beliefs? Did you use specific methods for that?
And no, I think I actually started listening to what other people said to me rather than what I said to myself. Like I said, people in my classes were like, you're so calming, you're so inspiring. And I'm like, I'm inspiring? I was like, still then I was like, I'm a pharmacist. How can a pharmacist be inspiring? And I think a lot of people just shrug off positive comments off, don't they? Like often people give a gift back, don't they? Like you say, oh, you're wearing a nice dress. You always have to say, oh, it was only cheap or it's only old. And it's just actually empowering yourself to say, thank you, and taking that gift in. And I think it's only when I started listening to all those comments and thinking, and then returning thinking, well, actually, I'm helping them as well. And I've just found that really empowering myself. So yeah, it kind of goes back to the what do you love, what are you good at, what does the world need, and infusing that basically.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful
Hmm.
how we can get the reflection of ourselves in other people and they can actually help us build a
Yeah,
belief about ourselves. And I feel like this is one of the
absolutely.
factors that influences us the most that people sometimes don't pay enough attention to, where you really literally take on the beliefs of people that are around you. And if you feel like someone is empowered around you, right, and they have the self belief, they have the high self
100%.
esteem, they have this empowerment vibes towards you and they believe in themselves so that they also believe in you, right? Then you're like, oh my God, I actually am awesome. I actually can do this. I actually, like my ex partner and beautiful soul best friend Ricky, he was so always encouraging me and he believed in himself so much that when I was with him, I feel like I believed in myself like 1,000 times more. And when we split up, I took this, this belief that he helped me build. And now I believe in myself way more than before our relationship because he was the one actually believing in himself and therefore he was able to radiate this belief on other people as well, among others me. And so I feel like it's so important to really select the people that are empowering for you, that are having this self-belief and also believing in you, because sometimes people who have known us for our old self before, let's say before development or our before our work, they can judge us in a way that we are not anymore. They can be like, keeping us small or keeping us safe, right? They want us to go and be empowered and achieve big things and I don't know, take a brave step towards a better future, because they just want us to stay in a safety and comfort zone. But if you really want to change, I believe you need to find people who are like, yes, you can do this, like, yes, you can, make anything happen in your life that you want. So I just feel like it's very, very, very crucial on this empowerment path to surround yourself with people who are also very empowered, because otherwise, of course, it's also good to talk to like disempowered people and inspire them to be more empowered. Of course, that's an also important part of the journey. But if you struggle with empowerment, I would say it's way better to just be, at least for some time, around only empowered people, because your vibe attracts your tribe. And if you're
Oh,
just in the vibe,
100%.
then
Yeah,
you're gonna
it
take it on as
does.
well.
Yeah, it really does. And I think I remember when we were doing our yoga training, there was a question of what's the difference between ego and being proud. And it was almost like you always used to think, oh, I shouldn't tell anybody about that, or I shouldn't tell anybody about that. But like with this course run, Gina calls it a bragging exercise. It's like, if you're proud of your achievements, shout it out. You might inspire somebody else to do that as well. And I think those shifts are changing now. It's like that. Yeah, like I say, I think it came taboo that you shouldn't be bragging or saying what you're doing next. It's actually, like you say, it's inspiring and empowering for other people to then go, oh, okay, well, if she can do it, maybe I can do it. And yeah, definitely,
Of
it
course.
definitely raises those positive vibrations.
Yeah, and we are sharing this only to empower people so that they know that they can do it as well. And of course, it depends on the person's victim versus creator mentality, right? Because the victim will say, oh
Yeah.
my God, this person achieved this and I can't do it, so I'm going to be
Yeah.
envious or jealous or whatever.
Absolutely.
And if someone
Yeah.
is more empowered, they're going to be like, oh, actually, this just shows me that it's possible. So what can I do in order to make it happen in my life? And, some people say like,
Yeah.
oh, you're so lucky that you're working online, traveling the world. I'm like, yeah, I am, but also I have created this because I don't want any other life. So, I'm going to do everything
Exactly.
in my
Yeah.
power to create the life that I want. So, I'm going to look for courses. I'm going to look for different jobs that I can do. I'm going to look for different places that, like, I'm going to just
Absolutely.
find a way because I want it so much. It's my priority. And I feel like some people just don't realize that if they
Yeah.
just shift their values and their priorities a little bit, they can actually
Yeah.
achieve exactly what
That's
they want.
exactly it.
They just need to put more energy maybe into some areas of their life. Maybe they need to learn more
Yeah.
about something. Maybe they need to change the place that they live. Maybe they need to change friends even, right? Or maybe they need to
Yeah.
stop listening to their
Absolutely.
practice
Yeah.
family or whatever.
Yeah.
Just people
It
who
is.
drag them down. So yeah, I just feel like
Yeah.
it's quite, I mean, not maybe easy, but it's quite simple. You just need to question
Yeah.
yourself and then
It
you can
is. You've got
feel
to be
empowered.
brave, haven't you? Yeah, 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 that's it. And I think it's fear of thinking you're going to upset someone or fear of failing but I mean, what's failure? Just try something different. Everything's a learning experience, isn't it? I think that's, like we're saying, if you're starting courses and if it doesn't work, it's not meant for you. So try something different. And it's like, I think people just get head on just that being the goal and that's all it can be. But you might branch out and do different things along the way. And that's the fun part, isn't it? Like yourself, just traveling the world and okay, right, okay, so that's what I'm working on now. I'm going to learn more about that. It's like you say, it's that knowledge is empowerment, isn't it? And just, you can never stop learning, never stop learning.
Yeah, and it's also really interesting for me to talk about this fear of failure because, as you said, like failure, is there even something like failure? Because, like I'm kind of questioning it because if you want to achieve something, you're going to make mistakes. And it's like, it's not really a failure. I mean, what does even failure mean? Because, like, if something doesn't work out, okay, there is a mistake, maybe there is something can be done better, but is there even something existing like failure? Like, what if a culture had a language without this word? You know what I mean? Like it could be just, for example, a step on the path to success rather than a failure. That could be like the whole definition of what failure is, right? A step on the path to success. And it's like, why do we think? Why are we so afraid of doing something wrong, making some people feel wrong, or we are so scared of failing or making mistakes? And what would you say to someone who is still there and still struggles with it? How would you cope with it? How would you guide them?
I think it's if it's finding out the possible outcomes and saying what's the worst can happen at the end of the day. I mean, you look at Richard Branson; he'll try five things, one will work, and look at his success. Het on the exact destination. It's actually going, okay, this is what I'm working towards, and sort of having the fun and easy steps of getting there. What's step A? What's step B? But how do I get there? And like you say, with a failure, what is classed as failure? Is it people's judgments? Does it matter? No. And I think that's what a lot of people think about. They say, oh, well, people will laugh at me, or people say this, or she's worthless, or this. It's like, well, at least you're trying at the end of the day, which is 1% more than most other people. Yeah.
Oh yes, I resonate with it a lot. And when you try and
Yeah.
do your best, then at some point you're gonna figure it out. Maybe now, maybe in some time, but if you really are empowered and really are encouraged to try, then at some point you're gonna be, where you want to be. And I
Yeah.
really feel like there is no such thing as failure. So, as,
Yeah.
as you said, if you're accepting the worst case scenario, if you just imagine and you're like, okay, worst case scenario, this is gonna happen, and you're fully there and you can just be okay with it, then
Yeah.
you remove the resistance to
Absolutely.
this scenario. So then everything
Yes.
can flow your way and the universe can align you with situations and people and circumstances that will actually
Absolutely.
help you achieve what you want. Because if you're happy with any outcome, then you open yourself up to all possible ways how the universe
Absolutely.
can give you things, right?
Absolutely.
And how you can
Yeah.
receive this beautiful abundance of the universe. So yeah, that's great. I
Mm.
really love what you
Yeah.
said about it because yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it is so true. It's so true.
Bottom line,
Mhm.
there is no such thing as failure, and also there is no even such thing
No.
as trying, right? Like Tony Robbins always says that, I think, like, try to lift your hand up, and it's like, okay, either you do it or you don't do it. You can't just
Yeah,
really
it
try
is.
it. It's
Yeah.
like another word that
Yeah,
should be crossed out of the
absolutely.
dictionary, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that. It's just do it. Just do it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you say, it's people being brave enough to think what's the worst case scenario, and if it's not that bad, or like you say, what if it goes to that point, and just have that vision board and thinking, right, okay, if that doesn't work, we can do that step, or that doesn't work. Like you say, it's all a learning experience anyway, isn't it? It's we all learn from either mistakes or the positives that happen in our lives as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like it's so good to have the top down approach of like really feeling empowered and positive and surround yourself with all these positive things all the time in your life. But
Mm.
also, when you feel this fear of failure, or when you feel any fear or any emotion that is negative, really diving deep into this emotion and really sitting with it and really accepting and allowing it. Because at the end of the day, if you go through it, if you're accepting a negative emotion, then there is nothing that actually you're resisting. So then there is no problem, right?
Yeah,
If you can come with
yeah.
acceptance to anything that happens, even if you quote unquote fail, even if something goes wrong, then you're like,
Yeah,
okay, where do I
yeah,
go from there? What did I learn from this experience? Like,
absolutely.
what can I do
Yeah,
next that is going to be better than that? And actually, like, I feel like there's
exactly.
no person who has never failed in their life. And some people I've heard in business, they don't even make deals with people who have never gone bankrupt, because they're like, if someone
Sure.
hasn't fully failed, quote unquote, right, and they haven't
Yeah,
built
I
up
know what you
again the
mean. Yeah,
confidence and everything that they have
yeah,
now, then like this kind
yeah,
of person is trustworthy, the one who has done it, right, who has failed
absolutely.
and then
They're
kind
willing
of
to do
stood
the
up.
work. Yeah,
Yeah, and they're willing
and
to do it,
yeah,
and they actually have gone and achieved even more, and it's all about the mindset. It's
yeah,
all about how you see yourself, how you see the world,
100%.
and how you set yourself up, because the potential is there for everyone. And who's going to
Yeah.
use this potential, right? It's up to us and
Mm.
up to how empowered we feel and how much of the creator we feel, right? Because it's all
Yeah,
about creator
absolutely.
versus victim mentality, I feel,
Yes.
when you are empowered in the creator
Yeah,
and not empowered in the victim.
yeah, especially the victim mentality as well. Yeah, it's quite a bad thing, victim mentality. I think people can end up sort of really regressing into their lives with it, can't they? It's, well, I've not got this, I've not got that, and it's like, well, change it around, and what can you do to get that, or do that, or be that? And it's, I think, like you say, people are too easy to take an easy route of not trying. Sometimes, be it career change, be it weight loss, and it's just what steps can you make, like we say, to make it just fun and easy along the way,
Hmm.
and not having just thinking, well, anything's better than where I am now if you're not enjoying where you are. It's like the compound effect, isn't it? 1% different each day over 100 days is 100% different, isn't it? Um,
Hmm. Amazing. I love
yeah,
that. I love
mm,
that. But
yeah,
I also feel that this
yeah,
victim mentality, this victim inside of each of us, because I feel like everyone has multiple parts of us inside, right? So this victim part of us also needs to have a voice, also needs to be heard, also needs to be expressed in some way. But if you can really feel into this victim part of you and really understand the needs, the desires, the roles that this part of you plays, and really like work with it and be with it and accept it, then instead of this being a roadblock for you, this can actually be a part of you that is on board with all your goals and all your visions. And if you can integrate these parts and start accepting them rather than rejecting them, because I feel like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you're just in the victim mentality. Yeah, sure, because there is a part of us that feels like a victim, and it's also very valid. And we also need to look at it and listen to it at first to then know what we can do afterwards, so that the needs and the roles and everything is met of this part of us. Because yeah, I feel like, of course, being in the creator is more empowering, but also if we just reject and disown and suppress this part of us that is a victim, it's still gonna like nag us. It's still gonna be like a niggling feeling of like, hey,
it
it's not
is.
gonna
It's that
work or
little
whatever
chip on your
else.
shoulder. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And like you
Exactly.
say, it can come from childhood memories. It can come from traumas, and it's something you sort of regress inside. But like you say, can make such a difference to your life because you stop yourself doing so much because of that mentality. It's actually, like you say, well, actually, what can I draw from it? What can I resonate from it? And other people might do the same as well. So, well, actually, yeah, I feel like that. And then, yeah, it's something to be embarrassed about, definitely. Nothing to be embarrassed about. Hmm.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for
Hmm.
sharing all that. And one last little question to
Oh, it's
you. Where could
amazing.
people find you where they would like to work with you? They resonate with what you're sharing and they would like to contact you.
Sure, amazing. So on Instagram, I'm Liz the Yogi _ coach. On Facebook, I'm Elizabeth Warburton. So you can message me on either of those. We're looking at sort of doing packages soon for the empowerment coaching, like 3-month courses. And also, I'm working on something quite special to do with empowerment coaching and bringing yoga into it as well. So watch this space.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. I love
Yeah.
empowerment plus yoga. It's like my favorite theme. Amazing. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Amazing,
Oh,
Liz.
thank
Thank
you
you so
so
much for
much.
sharing
Yeah, you've been
yourself. And
amazing to talk to.
oh,
Mm.
thank you. It's really
Keep
been a pleasure.
infusing
I'm
the
sending you
world.
so much love and gratitude. Oh, yes, I
Yeah,
have so much love to
likewise.
infuse the world with. I have so much joy,
Yes.
so much love
Spread
I can
those,
share.
spread it, spread it, spread it. Yeah,
Spreading it all
exactly.
around.
Infuse it, infuse it.
Thank you
Oh,
so much,
thank you
beautiful
so
soul.
much. Mm.
Thank you for listening to us. And I hope that you feel more empowered now to create the life the way you want it. And if you'd like to find me, contact me, DM me. I am The Connection Catalyst on Instagram. So find me there and follow me if you'd like. And I'm sending you so much love and gratitude for tuning in and stay tuned to the next episode.